Hey, what's happening everyone? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. Today, in this video, we're doing a Premier League table finishing positions prediction 1920 season. It's a catchy name, I've been working on it for a while. I think you get the point though. Before we get into the video, please do subscribe to this channel. If you've already watched some content and you're enjoying it and you haven't yet subbed, please subscribe and hit the bell notification button, because that's important so you can keep up or keep it locked to my content. Yeah? Anyway, the format for this video is we're starting down at 20th and we're going up through the table till we get to the eventual champions. So let's get into it. Starting at 20th place, Brighton. Sorry Seagulls, but for me the whole reason, well, the biggest reason you stayed in the Premier League for so long these last couple of years was because of manager Chris Hughton, who is no more. That sounds morbid, he's not dead, he's just no longer with the club. So yeah, without Chris Hughton and without particular great amounts of quality and how the Premier League's looking more and more competitive, I see you guys finishing 20th. 19th, Newcastle United. Right, sorry Toon. For me, letting Rafael Benitez go is an absolute travesty. I mean, he worked miracles with that squad, and letting him go was the dumbest thing Mike Ashley could have done. So he basically took a mid-table championship squad and was doing great finishes in the Premier League. So without him, I think they will become a mid-table championship squad. Sorry guys, but yeah, 19th place for me. 18th place and the final relegation slot, Aston Villa. Okay, I feel bad for this, and Aston Villa did well to win the playoffs, and they went on an amazing run of form at the end of the season in the Championship last season. And although I think they've got a lot good going for them, and they'll keep their talisman Jack Grealish at the club, who is an incredibly good player with a lot of quality, it looks like they are losing Tammy Abraham, their top scorer from last season, because by all accounts he's being recalled to Chelsea. And I just think they might struggle and maybe just miss out in staying in the Premier League. Sorry guys, but I have Aston Villa at 18th. 17th, Sheffield United. Alright, so Sheffield United should be happy to sort of maintain Premier League status. They got automatic promotion last season. They've got a good side, a sort of a good amount of experience there. And maybe if they had a couple of more players, they could stay in the Premier League. It's been a while since they dipped in, so, you know, I'm not going to say they get relegated, but I think they'll struggle. Finish 17th, and they should really be happy with that, to be honest. Right, at 16th place, I've got Burnley. Sorry, Daishi, I just can't see you doing any better this year. Like I said, the quality in the league is a lot higher this season. Certainly, it's going to be much more competitive. I don't necessarily think he'll be in a relegation battle straight away, but they might be flirting with that at certain points of the season, Burnley. He will go back to his sort of dogged, pragmatic football because he had to revert to that Sean Dyche. Even if they had a player or two, I see him staying in the Premier League, but I do see them struggling, and yeah, I can't see any more than a 16th place finish, so there you go. 15th place, Norwich City. Norwich, champions of the Championship last season, were incredibly impressive. They racked up 94 points, and I feel that they could comfortably stay in the Premier League next season. I reckon, yeah, perform well. I'm really interested in seeing how Teemu Pukki does in the Premier League and if he can bang a load of goals. I don't expect him to be relegated. I don't really expect him to be in a relegation scrap, but I can't see them doing any higher, so there you go. 14th, I've got Crystal Palace. Now, I know they've just lost Wan-Bissaka to Manchester United, but if Wibbly Wobbly Woy can keep Zaha at the club and keep his sort of clever, pragmatic football, I see them keeping Crystal Palace out of that sort of danger zone, but I can't see him doing anything particularly ambitious. Maybe a sort of cup run or something like that, but Hodgson's not particularly exciting, but that's what makes him good, and that's what makes him good for Palace, and that's what will keep him in the Premier League with them. Like I said, if they keep Zaha, maybe buy a couple of players with the Wan-Bissaka money, then yeah, they could absolutely stay in the Premier League and sort of get, I don't want to say mid-table, but just a bit lower than mid-table. So yeah, 14th. Crystal Palace. 13th place, I have Bournemouth. Yes, I am a big fan of Eddie Howe. I like how he plays sort of assertive, attacking football against teams that he has probably an inferior squad to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know he shadowed Sarri for a bit when Sarri was coaching Empoli, and he likes the possession attacking football. I think he'll be around mid-table, but like I said with some other teams, there's a lot of quality in the league this season, and he might come undone against the sort of solid, pragmatic teams, as well as the super good possession attacking teams. So 13th place for Bournemouth, and I think they should generally be happy with that. Consistency from Eddie Howe, pretty good. Right, 12th place, I have Southampton, which is a sort of really good finishing position for them. See, I'm a big fan of Ralph Hasenhüttl. He arrived and he looks the business, man. It's kind of like that sort of Germanic, continental, really new age thinking coach, and you know what, he made Saints look really, really good when he came in and sort of slapped him about a little bit. With a full pre-season, him actually having a look at the players properly and implementing his style more, this man's getting a mid-table finish with a side that looked like they're relegation fodder for the last couple of seasons. So an incredibly good job by Ralph, and yeah, good finish in my prediction. 11th, Watford. Yep, Javi Gracia has been held in high regard this last season, even linked with the Chelsea job. How much truth there is in that, I don't know. But he is a good coach, and they've got a pretty good squad, Watford. Certainly a strong midfield. A couple of ageing players in there, Troy Deeney being one of them. But I think Deulofeu is still knocking about and is going to stay there. They've got a good side. I see them finishing here, but I can't see him doing any better. Maybe another cup run, you know, they'll probably want to forget their last cup run of how that ended. But I can't see him like doing a top 8 finish personally, not with the quality that's above them now. So 11th for Watford. 10th place, I have West Ham. Now I hope Hammers don't feel hard done by him, because they've often had big ambitions with their investment. They've got good players and a good coach, and I'm a big fan personally of Felipe Anderson, but I feel like West Ham are they fluctuate too much and they have problems within the club. You know, Marko Arnautovic, he needs to stay and he needs to prevent his head from turning it next January to a Chinese club or something like that. There's that sort of instability, and there's that sort of residual problem with the stadium atmosphere and the dislike towards the owners. I mean, I can see them sort of stabilising this mid-table finish at 10th. They should be happy with that, not worried about any sort of lower table battles, and, you know, establish themselves in 10th place. They should really be happy with that. Alright, so 9th place, I have Everton. Now, some people might put them a couple of places higher, but Marco Silva finished the season strong, and he is a good coach, but I don't think he's this sort of second coming that everyone thinks he is. They have settled now at Everton. They've got their team synergy. They've sorted out the number 10 position. They're not playing like 5 number 10s, and the team synergy looks better. But Zuma will be recalled to Chelsea. I feel like Everton are the kind of team that do need to take the domestic cups really seriously and try and get a bit of glory from that, because they're a good enough team to do so. But personally, I can't see them challenging for any type of European place next season. Okay, so in 8th place, I have Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, at the end of last season, I was one of those people that were saying, oh, look out, next season Wolves could be knocking on the door for top 6 because they did so well. They're a pretty feel-good team. Everyone likes Nuno. They're an interesting counter-attacking team, but they're solid and they can score some great goals. They secured Jimenez on a permanent, and there's a lot of feel-good, but they got promoted last season and they had a wicked finish. So finishing 8th again, that's a really good achievement. So when I had a bit of proper reflection and thought about the other teams, I think that's about right for them. Okay, 7th, here it is. I've put Chelsea Football Club at 7th. Now, I'm a Chelsea fan, this was difficult for me, but I had to be realistic. Frank Lampard's coming into a club where everyone generally wants him, as do I now, but he is inexperienced to a degree. He's going to have to still learn on the job. There is a transfer ban, and Chelsea have just lost a player who contributed to 49% of their Premier League goals last season. He's now in Real Madrid. If you look at all that together, you've got to be like, oh God. I'm backing Frank. I'd like to be proven wrong and get a couple of places higher, God knows, even top 4, but I feel like 7th is probably a fair prediction for Chelsea, and people can't critique Frank or the club for that because it's taking a brave risk and hopefully allowing Frank the time to develop. So that's all I've got to say. Hopefully I'm wrong, but 7th for Chelsea. In 6th place, I've put Manchester United, which, you know, Manx might not be happy about, but for me, I don't see anything so inspiring about the coach. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer seems like a really nice guy. Great, he's one of the sort of old guard and all that sort of romantic nonsense, but I don't see him just being a top 4 manager or beating other people ahead of him that I've put. I really do like the direction they're going with James and Wan-Bissaka and stuff, the youthful, pacey signings, as opposed to the aging Galactico name signings, which just didn't fucking work. So they're doing the right thing there, but for me it's just not enough. You know, if Pogba's amazing all season, then maybe top 4, but the way I see things at the moment, 6th place for me. And in 5th place, I have Arsenal Football Club. Sorry Gooners, but although you have an amazing attack with 2 top tier strikers, your defence is still bad. I mean, even if you buy a defender, I still can't see it being fixed too much. I'm not even sure what Emery's plan probably malfunctioning properly is. What his actual plan is what I'm trying to say. Ozil's been a weird anomaly. Like, does he work? Does he not work? Does he like the coach? Does he not like the coach? Is everyone pissed off about his wages? And for me, you lost your best creative player, number 10 in Aaron Ramsey, who's, you know, if not scoring the goals, but one of your best players last season. And although I think the defence will prevent them from getting into a top 4, and I feel like the strikers will actually keep them as high as 5th. So sorry Arsenal, but 5th. 4th is a really interesting and cool one for me. I've put Leicester City. That's right, old Brendan Rodgers I think could get a Champions League place. Pretty exciting prediction, right? I really do think he's a good coach actually. He's got a lot of experience and he's used to winning. Certainly I know he's been in the Scottish Farmers League, but he's just gobbled up wins and trophies there. And you know what? Leicester have a fantastic squad. I'm not going to run through it now, but look through Leicester's squad. It is wicked, and he's going to get the best out of Jamie Vardy for at least another season or 2, and with their brilliant fullbacks and midfield and his attacking style but able to play pragmatic football when he needs to, I think it's perfect for the Premier League, and I think he could finish 4th, so yeah, exciting. 3rd place, I have Tottenham Hotspur. Right, so yeah, from 4th to 3rd, that will be one place better for them. I feel like he'll get a top 4 finish again. Pochettino, I mean, he's a fantastic coach. The feel-good factor will still be there from the Champions League final, as in like reaching the final. They got like great new stadium. Even if they do lose Eriksen, he's got a lot of miles on the clock, and Ndombele, who looks pretty certain to sign, is a fantastic player. Bring through a couple more youth like Poch does, and you know what, although I don't think necessarily they'll win anything next season, I think they could get a strong league finish again and finish in 3rd place this time. 2nd place, I have Liverpool Football Club. Sorry Scousers, but for me, they're champions of Europe, they've got an excellent squad, they've got a great manager, all the feel-good factor is there. But for me, last season when they racked up that many points, it had this sort of air of emotional exhaustion, which it didn't have for City. I just can't see them getting over, say, like 95 points again next season, whereas I can see that with Manchester City. So for me, Liverpool are 2nd, which leaves me in 1st place. And yes, you guessed right, Manchester City. For me, as long as Pep Guardiola is still at City and there's not some big thing with like financial fair play, some big story comes out and fucks them up badly or something, as long as they're relatively stable and Guardiola is there, I see him winning the league. He may have brought a sort of inferiority complex with him about the Champions League, you know, something that was residual from Bayern or whatever, and maybe they mess up in Europe. When it comes to dominating a league campaign, they're robots, they're systemic, they know how to, and now this team are used to winning. They know how to win, they don't feel the pressure, certainly they don't look like it like Liverpool did, and I can absolutely see them racking up north of 95 points again. It's just what he does, it's what they do. So for the good of the league, let's hope Guardiola finishes his City project soon and makes it a little bit more competitive again. So yeah, that's how I feel. So that's my roundup. 20th to 1st. Alright guys, you know what? If you've enjoyed the video, please like it. If you agree with me, like it. If you disagree with me, like it, help me out. But I'm really interested in hearing your comments. You know what? Give me your sort of rankings. Put that in the comments, 20th to 1st, or just maybe comment where you think I went wrong, or just comment on something I said, because I'm always interested in engaging with you guys. Yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm really pleased that I'm getting such good feedback and a lot of you are checking out the channel. It means a lot. I'm putting a lot of time and editing in. I hope you can realise that and repay me by hitting a subscribe and just growing with me when I grow the channel. Why not, guys? I think that's probably it, you know, so enjoy the football and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I love me, baby.